here we've got Pub Battles Marengo. The Austrian army is located in Alexandria, a little bit down here, and they need to break out this way and get off either here or here or here. Napoleon has to stop them. They need to break out because they're starving to death. He needs to force resolution because he can't sit here forever. The Austrians surprise him by starting out first. So they get a turn of free moving before the game starts. To try something different, this time I'm having Melis's large command, rather than come straight up the center like they did historically, they're going to sneak along this route across the river and cross at this point. The other two commands are just going to be decoys. The part of this plan that makes it kind of questionable is the fact that to move up here quickly and actually get ahead with a breakout move, they need to be in road column, march along this road. Well, that's going to stretch a huge force out, so we'll see how that plays out. Melis opens with the cavalry racing down the road. Alright, north is at the bottom of your screen. This way is north. Here in the south, we have O'Reilly and the light troops breaking out. In the center, we have Ott with his command. These three blocks are just detachments, but it looks like a major force. Now we move to the actual turn one. Melis's cavalry has made it across the Tenaro River and formed up, but they won't last long without infantry support. The rest of Melis's command is all stretched out in column. Lanné's corps spreads out in response to the breakout in the north here. Ott's diversionary force continues. O'Reilly advances in the south. And Ott's cavalry responds to the breakout. It's mid-morning. Napoleon is bringing his artillery to the hilltop here. Lanné's division has occupied Lobi. Ott's troops are advancing in the center. Now here we have Victor's corps. The French would love to respond to this Austrian move in the south with all their forces, but they still have all this right here, these Austrian forces in the center. So Victor has to stretch his line out. Murat's cavalry moves to cut off the Austrian route in the extreme south. Melis's long line of troops continues in their breakout attempt. It is late morning. In the south, the French continue to fall back. Some of Murat's cavalry rides in. They're going to stay right up here. Murat's cavalry charges to crush the Austrian advance. Kelman's cuirassiers drive in the Austrian dragoons. The Austrian cavalry falls back as Melis's main body of troops begins to fill in. Victor's troops move aggressively against the Austrians. Napoleon's artillery is in position. Austrian artillery shells Victor's troops into town. They are driven out, and Ott's troops occupy it. Melis's dragoons ride off, out of reach of Victor's troops. It's midday. Ott's artillery rakes the French troops, driving Victor's men back. O'Reilly's troops press on the northern flank. Murat's cavalry falls back to recover and prepare to charge again. Victor begins repositioning himself to the south, and Lannes moves aggressively against the Austrians in the south. Napoleon's artillery rakes the Austrian line, throwing it in disarray. It's early afternoon. The last of Melis's command leaves Alexandria. It's mid-afternoon, and now Desai arrives, making his historic entrance. Lannes attack. The fighting is desperate, and the outcome is undecided. Desai's corps races to the north. Victor attacks in the center. The Austrians drive on Lobi. The French troops hold, and the Austrian grenadiers are driven back. Austrian artillery fires long range at French troops, driving them back. Ott's troops join on the assault in the center. Murat countercharges with his cavalry. Napoleon pulls his troops back from the attack. O'Reilly protects his bags. Lannes continues his assault. And now the combat is getting very intense. Marat's cavalry in the north. Revaux's hussars hold the field. Kellerman's cuirassiers. The Archduke dragoons are eliminated. In Lobby, the grenadiers return their assault. This time, the French are driven out. And Victor and Ott here in the center. The French create a hole in the Austrian line. And Lannes drive in the south. And now it's late afternoon and the Austrian position looks desperate. At the same time, the French look desperate down here as well. Marat's cavalry recovers. Victor recovers his line. Ott applies pressure on the French line. Bonaparte repositions his artillery to cover the Austrian advance. O'Reilly continues his race to save his small command. Desailly's troops continue to race across. The Austrian artillery shells cuirassiers' cavalry, causing some confusion. Melas advances forward. Lannes closes in on the Jagers. Late afternoon, the cavalry battle in the north. It is inconclusive. Melas' drive in the center. The French are destroyed. And here in the center, Victor and Ott's men. Heavy Austrian losses, but the French hold. And here, the Austrian light are in a desperate position. It is early evening, and Melas offers terms. Napoleon has won Marengo. The reason for this is that the Austrian O'Reilly's bags are here all alone. His troops have been destroyed. Next turn they'll be overwhelmed by Lannes. Lannes has won Marengo for Napoleon. Word spreads quickly to the whole Austrian army that they're collapsing on their right. The French are overwhelming them. This is a case where the morale has broken, even though there's still a viable battle going on up here, and Melas can scream and attack all he wants, but the troops are running. There's panic here on the Austrian right, and it takes off the whole army. Good game.